iris. It's not the lens, okay. It is the iris which is pigmented. Or they can ask you a question, which part of your eyes imparts color to the eyes? Iris, okay, very important. Or the pigmented part of your eyes is called iris, okay. So the eyeball contains a transparent crystalline lens. It goes like this. First you will have ciliary body, okay, then in front of that you have iris, in front of that you have a lens, okay. Understood, guys? And the movement of lens is controlled by pupil, okay. Pupil controls the movement of movement of lens, okay. So the lens will contract and relax using pupil. Pupil is a small muscle, okay, just like how you adjust microscope, correct? All of you have used microscope, correct? So you will use this fine adjustment and coarse adjustment to view the object on the this one, what is that? Stand, okay. So you will basically adjust. Similarly, your pupil will adjust itself according to the vision. Okay, you get into a dark room. Can you see things immediately? No, right? So after some time your pupil will adjust your lens so that you can start seeing things. Okay, yes. So the diameter of the pupil is regulated by the muscle fibers of iris. So eyeball contains a transparent crystalline lens. I will go back to this picture, you will understand it better. So here you can see ciliary body, all of you. In front of the ciliary body, can you see iris? Okay. Behind the iris, can you see the lens? Okay. So this is the structure of your choroid. Okay. What does the choroid consist of? The anterior portion is called ciliary body. In front of the ciliary body, there is iris which is pigmented. Behind the iris, you have your lens. Okay. And the movement of lens is controlled by your pupil. Okay. And how is the movement of pupil controlled? By the ligaments. Okay. Then the innermost layer, now we have moved to innermost layer. What is the innermost layer called? Retina. And what is retina composed of? Only nerves. Okay, the innermost layer of the eyes is called retina. It is a nervous layer or neural layer. Definitely, right, when I get signals, there needs to be some neurons which has to read those signals, right. They have to be sent to the brain. The signal has to be processed. Okay, so you have visual memory. We all can remember the movie which we saw so many years ago. Why? Because there is something called visual memory. Okay, yes. So it contains 3 layers of cells, okay, from inner to outer. So inner ganglion cell, middle bipolar cell and outer photoreceptor cell. Yesterday I told you bipolar neuron. Can anyone remember what is bipolar neuron? One axon and one dendrite. Excellent. I told you yesterday, right? So bipolar neurons are neurons which have one axon and one dendrite. Okay, where are they present? They are present in the retina. So what are the three layers of cell? Inner ganglion cell, middle bipolar cell and outer photoreceptor cells. Okay. Photo means what? Light. Correct? Receptor means what? They are receptive to light. Okay, there are 2 kinds of photoreceptor cell. One is rod, another one is cones. Okay, I repeat, retina is a neural layer made up of 3 layers. What are the layers? Ganglion, bipolar and photoreceptor cells. Of these, photoreceptors are very important. There are 2 types of photoreceptor cell. One is your rods, another one is your cones. Okay, so they contain photosensitive pigment, means the pigments which respond to light. Right? Without light, can we see anything? No. Okay. So light is very, very important. So this photopigments are made up of opsin and retinal. These are the pigments. They can ask you what are the photopigments present in your photoreceptor cell. Opsin and retinal. They are all vitamin A derivatives. I think all of you know vitamin A deficiency causes night blindness. Yes or no? Why? Because this vitamin A is very important for the formation of pigments called opsin and retinal. Okay, clear? Where are they present? In your photopigment cells. So here you can see very nicely the inner layer ganglion, okay, the middle layer, what is it? Bipolar cell, the outer layer which is made up of rods and cones. Okay, very nicely they have given. Yeah. Now let us talk about cones. Okay, cones respond to daylight vision. During day, when I am able to see you guys and when you are able to see me in presence of light, we call it as photopic vision. Okay, vision in presence of light is called photopic vision, and cones are responsible for photopic vision. Clear? Okay, fine. There are three types of cone containing photopigments that responds to red, green and blue light. Cones responds to which light? Red light, blue light and green light. Very important. The sensation of different color are produced by the combination of these cones. Okay. Yeah. So this is how a cone looks like. In presence of light, the cone is activated. Clear? Cones are responsible for what vision? Photopic vision or daylight vision. Okay. Next, rods. Rods are responsible for twilight. Twilight means what? Either early morning or evening, late evening. Okay, they are called twilight, or we can simply tell when light is very less. Okay, so we call it as scotopic. Photopic, scotopic. Photopic is day vision, scotopic is twilight vision. You can't tell night vision, you have to tell it as twilight vision. Okay, they contain purplish pigment, red color protein called rhodopsin. So they can simply ask you which is the pigment that is present in rod cell, rhodopsin. And what is this rhodopsin? It is a vitamin A derivative. Rhodopsin is derived from where? Vitamin A. Okay, yes. So night blindness, the eye disorder due to deficiency of vitamin A. So can anyone tell me which are the three layers of eyes? Three layers of eyes. Eyes. I didn't ask retina. Eyes. Sclera, choroid and retina. What is cornea? The transparent portion of the sclera, anterior transparent portion of the sclera is called cornea. Okay. What is iris? The pigmented portion. Where is it present? In the choroid. Now what are the three layers of your retina? Ganglion, bipolar cell and retinal cells. Okay. Yeah. Photoreceptors. What are the two types of photoreceptors? Cones and rods. What does the rods consist of? Rhodopsin. Rods are responsible for what type of vision? Photopic vision. Cones are responsible for what? Go inside. Get inside. Sit there. Already you are late. Understood guys? Still here it's clear? Okay. Yeah. Now there is two things in your retinal surface. Okay. One is blind spot. What is this blind spot? It is a spot where rods and cones are absent. Okay, let us, blind means what? No rods and cones. So why there is no rods and cones? Because it is a place where optic nerve leaves the eyes. So when it leaves the eyes, where does it go? It goes to the brain. Okay, what is blind spot? It is a spot on the retina where rods and cones are absent. Okay, why it is absent? Because it is a place where optic nerve leave the eyes to enter into the brain. Is it clear? All of you are understanding about blind spot. Okay, it is a spot where no image is formed. No rods and cones means no image is formed. Okay, then you have one more spot called fovea. Okay, fovea is a spot where very clear image is formed. Okay, so lateral to the blind spot, imagine if this is the blind spot, lateral to the blind spot. Okay, here if you see lateral, this side, okay, you will have a region called fovea. Okay, fovea is also called yellow spot. Okay, it's also called macula lutea. Okay, what is this fovea? It is a portion where only cones are densely packed and you can see a very sharp image. Okay, I think all of you understand what is sharp image. All of us are using mobile phone. You know what is a better image and what is not a better image. Okay, so in your macula lutea, which is a part which is lateral to your blind spot, where only cones are present. Okay, and it gives the sharpest image. So there is definitely a difference between an iPhone image and a normal camera image. That is what I am trying to tell you here. Okay, your eye is also camera, right? It works like with the same principle as that of your camera. Okay, so it has greatest resolution. I think all of you are aware of resolution. Clarity, image clarity is resolution. So what is fovea or macula lutea or yellow spot? It is a place which is lateral to the blind spot where there are only cones and you get the image which has the greatest resolution. Clear? All of you understood the difference between blind spot and yellow spot? Okay. Yeah, then you have two fluids. One is aqueous humor, another one is vitreous humor. Okay, so what is this aqueous chamber? The space between the cornea and the lens, this space. Okay, this space is called aqueous chamber, and aqueous chamber is filled with a fluid called aqueous humor. Okay, and the space behind the lens, between the lens and the retina, is called vitreous chamber. And what is the vitreous chamber filled with? Vitreous humor. Humor means liquid, fluid. Okay, and what is the function of this fluid? It helps to maintain the shape of the eyeball. Okay. Yes, now we are moving on to mechanism of vision. Very interesting. In physics also you would have studied, right? In 10th there was one lesson. What is that? Our colorful eye or wonderful eye? I am not sure. Eye, the colorful world. Okay, fine. So yes, listen to me. You have an object. First of all, on the object the light has to fall, right? The light will be reflected back. I think all of you know what is reflection. The light, when it hits a surface, it will be bouncing back. That is called as reflection. So now that reflected light will enter the eyes through the cornea and your lens. Okay, then it will focus on the retina. Okay, now this retina will convert those light signals into chemical signals and transmit it to the brain. The brain will process it and again it will send the impulse. Okay, by that time you will see the image, and all this happens within a fraction of a second. See how beautiful your sense organs are. Okay, so then focus on the retina, then dissociation of the retinal from opsin. Okay, you have this rhodopsin, right? Rhodopsin will now where is rhodopsin present? Rods. This rhodopsin will break. Okay, and that will generate an action potential. That action potential will send impulse to the brain. Okay, changes in the membrane permeability will happen, inducing of action potential, and transmission of nerve impulses will happen. That is your optic nerves. So you studied yesterday in your cerebrum we have an optic area, correct, which is exclusive for vision. So all the impulses will be processed in the brain. Okay. Yes. So you can see it generates potential difference in the photoreceptor cell. It generates an action potential. Impulses are transmitted by optic nerve to brain, visual cortical region. Okay, impulses are analyzed and the image is recognized based on memory and experience. You see someone, even if you have seen them 10 or 15 years later also, you will be able to, somewhere we have seen them, right? So your brain is still processing where you saw them, when you saw them. Okay, your brain is such a beautiful part. So your eyes and brains are extremely connected with each other. Okay, so everything will be stored in your memory. Okay, yeah, then you will see vision. Okay, finally you will be able to see a person. So see, eyes, structure of eyes, and you see beautiful mechanism. What you are studying is just 5%. According to your syllabus you are just studying 5%, but there is a lot more to this mechanism. So what is the mechanism? On the object light will fall, the light will get reflected, it will enter your eyes through the lens and the cornea, then it will reach the photoreceptor cells where there will be an action potential that will be generated, and impulse will be transmitted to the visual cortex region of cerebrum where it is analyzed. Is it clear? This is about your eyes. Any doubts in eyes? Okay. Next we will move on to ears. So ear is not just for audition. Audition means hearing. It is also an organ of equilibrium. Okay. So very important. Many times people will have ear infection and they will show giddiness. They will show signs of giddiness, vomiting and all. That is because ears are also an organ of equilibrium. Okay. So it's called statoacoustic organ. Stato means equilibrium. Acoustic means hearing. Okay, it has 3 regions, the outer ear, the middle ear and the inner ear. Okay, let's start with the outer ear, external ear. So external ear consists of pinna, right? Mammals characteristic is pinna. Only mammals have ear pinna, okay, or called ear lobe. Then you have auditory meatus, then you have the auditory canal. Okay, it's called the auditory canal. Let's start with ear pinna. Why do we have ear pinna? To concentrate the sound waves. Okay, mammals have better hearing because we have an ear pinna. So this ear pinna will help in concentration of sound waves. Okay, yes. So you have a gland called ceruminous gland. Okay, where is ceruminous gland present? In the ears. And what is the function of the ceruminous gland? It helps in producing wax. Okay, and your ear also is covered by small hair like structure called cilia, which will trap all the pathogens. Okay, so the external ear consists of what? Ceruminous glands and hairs, small hair like structures. And so this wax and hairs will basically combine and they will help in removal of pathogens or removal of germs. Okay, that is why you should not put very sharp object into your ears. Okay, why? What will happen? It might affect your eardrum. Okay, up to 2 or 3 years, doctors tell you don't even clean your ears using those buds. Sometimes by mistake the bud will go and affect your eardrum also. So you can use a soft cloth instead of that. That's what they say. So wax and hairs prevent the entry of foreign objects like insects. Okay, so that's your external ear. Then ear canal ends in tympanum. So can you see? This is your pinna. This is your auditory canal, and the auditory canal ends in a tympanic membrane. Okay, ear, auditory canal, tympanic membrane. What you see is a very small part of the ear. There is a lot that is there inside. Okay, yes. What is this tympanic membrane? It is a semi-transparent membrane covered by a thin layer of skin and its outer surface and by mucous membrane on the inside. So inside it is mucous membrane, outside it is a very thin layer of the skin. Yeah, now we are moving on to middle ear. So what does a middle ear consist of? Tympanic cavity and ear ossicles. What is ear ossicle? In yesterday's class we studied 3 bones which are present in your ears. What are the 3 bones? Malleus, incus and stapes. Why do we call it as ossicle? Because they are very tiny. Okay, so what does the middle ear consist of? Tympanic cavity and ear ossicles. Okay, so what is this tympanic cavity? It is an air-filled space that separates the external ear and the inner ear. So this tympanic cavity separates your external ear and inner ear. Okay, and you also have an auditory tube. So can you see this? This auditory tube is also called as eustachian tube. Okay, this is a spelling. Eustachian canal. It connects to the pharynx. Okay, so there is a connection between the ear and the pharynx. So sometimes when you cough, you will have a burning sensation in ears. Why do we call them as ENT specialists? Because ears, nose and throat are connected to each other. Via what? Via eustachian tube. Okay, so what does it connect? It connects the middle ear to the pharynx. Okay, so it maintains an equal pressure on either side of the eardrum. Right, I have 2 eardrums, so there has to be an equal pressure which is maintained. So who is maintaining that equal pressure? Eustachian tube. What is eustachian tube? It connects your middle ear to the pharynx. Every word I utter is important. Okay, it connects your eustachian tube to it connects your pharynx to your middle ear. Understood guys, still here? Any doubts? Can we proceed? Okay. So it also contains ear ossicle. Can anyone tell what is the function of ear ossicle? What is the use of ear ossicle? It increases the frequency of sound waves. It amplifies your frequency. Correct? Even a smallest of the small sound you can hear. Correct? Even if a pen falls down, we are able to basically understand what that sound is, because those sounds will be amplified by your ear ossicles. Clear? Understood? Middle ear? Yeah. So ear ossicle includes 3 small bones, malleus, incus and stapes. They are attached to the tympanum. Okay, and stapes is the smallest bone. It is attached to the membrane of the oval window. Oval window is inner ear. Now we finished external ear, we finished middle ear. Now we are slowly moving on to the inner ear. Okay, so the stapes is attached to the oval window of the inner ear. Can we proceed? Okay. Now let us move on to inner ear. All of inner ear is little confusing, so pay attention. Okay. So inner ear consists of 2 regions. One is bony labyrinth, another one is membranous labyrinth. Okay, what is bony labyrinth? Made up of bones. What is membranous labyrinth? Made up of membrane, cartilage. Okay. So bony labyrinth is filled with a cavity called perilymph. Okay, what is the fluid that fills your bony labyrinth? Perilymph. So here can you see bony labyrinth? I think all of you can see this semicircular canals. They are called bony labyrinth. Okay. Here you can see membranous labyrinth. This is membranous, this is bony labyrinth. And what is the fluid that fills your membranous labyrinth? Sorry, bony labyrinth is perilymph. Okay. Now what is a membranous labyrinth consist of? It consists of two things. One is cochlea and vestibular apparatus. Okay, I repeat. You have two labyrinth in your inner ear, bony and membranous. What is a fluid that fills your bony labyrinth? Perilymph. What is membranous labyrinth consist of? Two things. One is cochlea, another one is vestibular apparatus. Okay, so here you can see cochlea. Okay, so what is the function of cochlea? It helps in hearing. Okay, what is vestibular apparatus? For maintaining balance. Okay, so it is an organ of equilibrium. So they can ask you, where is cochlea present? In the membranous labyrinth of your inner ear. Okay, cochlea is present where? Membranous labyrinth of your middle ear. Very, very important topics. Okay, all of you understood this? Only if you understand this, you will understand the next slide. So I am asking. Clear? Okay. Yes. Now, what is this cochlea? Okay, now I am trying to explain you this part. Okay, I am trying to explain you cochlea. Where is cochlea present? Membranous labyrinth. Okay. So what does the cochlea consist of? It consists of three canals: scala vestibuli, scala media and scala tympani. So you can see this picture. Scala vestibuli, outer scala vestibuli, middle scala media and inner scala tympani. Okay, all of you repeat with me. What is the cochlea made up of? Scala vestibuli, scala mediae and scala tympani. Clear? Understood all of you? Okay. So scala vestibuli and scala media are separated by resinar membrane. So the scala vestibuli and scala media is separated what? Resinar's membrane. The spelling is here. Okay, and scala media and scala tympani are separated by basilar media membrane. Okay, so vestibuli and media, resinar's membrane. Okay, media and tympani, basilar membrane. Understood the difference, all of you? Okay. Now the scala vestibuli and scala tympani are filled with perilymph. So you can see this pink color. Pink color is perilymph, and scala media is filled by endolymph. Okay, I repeat, your cochlea is made up of three canals: scala vestibuli, scala mediae and scala tympani. Okay, your scala vestibuli and scala mediae are separated by resinar membrane. Okay, and scala tympani and scala media are separated by basilar membrane. Okay, your vestibuli and tympani are filled with perilymph. Your media is filled with endolymph. That's it. Okay, 4 or 5 points you can remember. Yes, now this is your, you can see the structure. This is vestibuli, this is your media, tympana, and this is your media. Okay, on resting on the basilar membrane. What is basilar membrane? The membrane that separates your scala media and scala tympani. Right, this is your basilar membrane. Okay, resting on the basilar membrane, you have an organ called organ of Corti. Can you see this green color structure? This is your basilar membrane. Okay, on the basilar membrane, you have organ of Corti. Listen to me, learn it here only. Okay, and what is this organ of Corti made up of? It is made up of sensory hair cells. Okay, where is organ of Corti present? On the basilar membrane. What is basilar membrane? It separates your media and tympani. Okay, so this hair cell, they are in contact with tectorial membrane. So this hair cell are very close with, this pink color is tectorial membrane. So this and this are